these are four really important things that I just want you to think about, because again, sales is a big sticking point for a lot of people because they don't want to feel salesy. They don't know what to say when someone says, oh, this is too expensive. So they think their services aren't worth it, but you are 100% worth it, because again, we're selling a transformation that if they keep moving the direction they're going, it's going to cost them way more money than what it's going to cost to work with you, even if you're putting together a high ticket package. So if you understand these four different sales psychology tools and know how to understand what price objections actually are, you're going to be much more confident and comfortable moving forward with these sales calls. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast. My name is Kate Mills, and I'm the Director of Success for the IHP Institute. Today, we're going to dive into sales because it's one of the things that most health coaches, no matter where you are, whether you're just getting started or you've been on this journey a long time, sales is something that people often stumble on or they're uncomfortable with. And I also want to kind of bring to you some tactics and things that if you understand them, they'll help you realize why certain things work the way they do and why certain things don't. For instance, why if you take someone through a functional medicine detox and they have a huge win, they're going to become lifetime fans and clients. So there are a couple different tactics I want to talk to you about, but we're also going to dive into pricing objections and how to objection handle, because when we get there, you'll realize that most objections are all saying the same thing, and it's actually often not what the person is actually saying. So you got to learn to kind of listen, but realize that they're all asking the same question. So the first one we're going to dive into is something called the Norm of Reciprocity, and this is a sales psychology tactic or principle that says that if you give someone a win, if you give someone a tip or a tool or a detox that provides them with a win and gets them closer to the end goal that they're looking for, then you're going to form a relationship. And they're going to come back to you when they're ready to purchase something else, or when they're ready to work with you one-on-one, or when they want a recommendation for a sauna, or when they want anything health related. So this is a very big thing that I want to talk about, because over the last couple months, a lot of you have taken people through the functional medicine detox, the Dr. Cabral detox. And if you watched my course beforehand, Detox Mastery, I walked through a 12-step framework that walked you through how to turn detoxers into lifetime fans and customers. And the biggest thing behind that was all about this norm of reciprocity. It was all about giving them a win, helping them get closer to their end goal than they probably ever have. It was helping them realize that you provided a unique solution to their problems, and you provided your support for free, and you provided, this framework and these resources, whether it was helping them prepare before, helping them maximize, or giving them tools for what to do after. And so you created this relationship. You gave your time, you gave your knowledge, and you told them about this tool that could totally change their life. So what you did is you formed that relationship. And it goes the same with creating content on social media. If you create content that gives someone that aha moment or gives someone a win because they go home and implement something that you recommended, they are going to come back to you next time they're looking for that next piece of health advice, or they're looking to get closer to their end goal, or they want to work with you one-on-one. So when you're trying to build your client list, you're trying to create these lifetime fans and clients, it's all about giving someone a win, giving them something for free, whether it's a lead magnet, whether it's recommending a detox, whether it's recommending a sauna, and them having, some significant wins from it, they're going to come back to you. So that's the first one, is the norm of reciprocity. And it's something you could look up and learn more about, because when you understand that, it means that if you are serving people, if you are giving people your time, and you are providing value, and you're willing to send voice messages to them in your DMs when they ask you a question, as opposed to just, trying to sell right away. If you actually respond to them in your DMs and you send a voice message, they are going to trigger that sales psychology tactic, or you're going to trigger that. And again, they're going to come back to you when they're ready, and they're going to be much more likely to work with you and purchase any of your offers. The next one is the bandwagon effect, which we've all heard of, and it works kind of in all forms of life, but pretty much it says that people are much more likely to do something if other people are doing it. So if you think about this and you think about, let's say, again, you're thinking back to the detox, and if you got maybe 5 people to do the detox, now, you might have been able to get 10 people to do the detox if you showed in your stories and your content, and you had a way of showing that you had other people doing it with you. Every time someone joined your Facebook group, you can celebrate that person. Every time someone signs up for one of your programs, you can celebrate that person. You can post about it and say, welcome to the community. Welcome to the Facebook group. I'm so excited to have you here, because it's going to trigger that bandwagon effect. And it's something that also triggers kind of FOMO, is like they want to be part of it. They want to be part of that community. So it's just something to keep in mind as you're creating content, and as you get people to sign up for your programs, whether it's, a automated notification that someone has joined your email list, whether it's a notification that someone has paid for your online course, take screenshots of those and share them. Don't share the person's name, but celebrate and show the demand for your product, because that demand will trigger other people to want to join as well. So that's the second one. Again, the bandwagon effect. The third one that I want to kind of point out is something called building the yes ladder. And what that means is that you are getting micro commitments from people. Every time you get them to say yes to you, whether it's clicking on a link or it's following you, those are all micro commitments that are moving them closer to you. So what you really want to have people do is, one, they'll watch your video. That's the first micro commitment. The next one is they're going to follow you. The next one is maybe they're going to click a link in one of your stories, or they're going to comment with detox on your post. Those are all micro commitments. The more micro commitments people use, the closer they're getting to you. And that's all part of the sales process. So if you're, for instance, chatting with someone in your DMs and they're asking you a question about something, ask them questions back that get them to say yes. Because once you've built up that yes ladder, they're much more likely to say yes to bigger things. So when you present your program to them, when you offer them that free 15-minute call, when you present something you want them to purchase, they would have already said yes a bunch of times. And I also want you to remember that someone is 85% more likely to purchase from you if they've purchased from you before. So even if that's spending even $1, if they spend $1 with you, they are 85 times more likely, or 85% more likely to purchase from you again. So that means that having a kind of a lower ticket offer and things that they can make micro commitments and move toward you is going to help sell your higher ticket offers in a really big way. Not only are you going to move them into your system and be able to nurture those relationships, but again, if you present, let's say, a $3,000 3-month program, they're going to be much more likely to move through that program because you've created and triggered the norm of reciprocity, and you've shown them that you want to give back to them. So that's the third one, is building the yes ladder. And again, micro commitments are actually really important, and recognizing that every single time they like, they comment, they follow, they watch your video, those are more micro commitments. And if you can get them to purchase a $1, a $7, a $27 item, whether it's a course, an ebook, it's a low ticket membership, whatever it is, they will be much more likely to pay for the higher ticket in the future. Now, the fourth one is more about overcoming objections. And this is something, if you're selling higher ticket packages, or you're charging more for your services, which I 100% recommend you do, because we are so valuable as health coaches, because again, we're not charging for our time, we're charging for the transformation that we are offering them. right? So we're charging for the amount of time, money, and pain that they are going to save. We're charging for that transformation, no matter what it is. Now, the biggest objection most people get is, I can't afford that, right? That's usually the common one is, oh, that's too expensive, or I can't afford that. What they're actually saying isn't that it's too expensive. Most people can afford this. And a lot of times they've already pre-qualified. You already know that they can afford a sauna or that they can afford the detox. So they can often afford your services. What they are saying when they say that they can't afford it or it's too expensive, they're really saying, will this work for me? That's the question they're asking. Almost every single objection they come with, they're asking, will this work for me? How can I know this is going to work for me? So if you know that going into any type of sales call or discovery call, and you know that this is a common objection that's going to come up, just realize and read between the lines and listen to them, but understand that what they're really asking is this going to work? So this is where you provide real world testimonials and you say, I had a client who was in a similar situation to you and I got them to this end result. You use proof that your system is going to work, or that I've taken 10 other people through this exact detox and all of them had incredible results. And here are some of those results. Or, this person was going through exactly what you're going through. And here's what we were able to do with them in a 3-week period. You use real world examples to show that they can be successful. But you also, if you've been talking to them, maybe you're on a discovery call and you've recognized maybe what they're doing wrong. That's one of the big things is they think it won't work for them because they've been doing X, whereas you want them to do Y. So they haven't been successful in the past because they've been going about it in the wrong way. And this is where you can kind of show your authority and you can say, you've been trying to lose weight by exercising more and eating less. But the real problem is actually that you're really, really toxic, or you've got some underlying root causes. And so maybe the other things you've tried in the past haven't worked for you because you didn't address the real root of the problem. And you will be successful if you follow this framework. So these are 4 really important things that I just want you to think about, because again, sales is a big sticking point for a lot of people because they don't want to feel salesy. They don't know what to say when someone says, oh, this is too expensive. So they think their services aren't worth it, but you are 100% worth it because, again, we're selling a transformation that if they keep moving the direction they're going, it's going to cost them way more money than what it's going to cost to work with you, even if you're putting together a high ticket package. So if you understand these 4 different sales psychology tools and know how to understand what price objections actually are, you're going to be much more confident and comfortable moving forward with these sales calls, selling in your DMs, because you can be super successful selling in your Instagram and Facebook, DMs. That's actually a really great place to close free calls or to close one-on-one appointments, as long as you understand kind of what the goal is. If someone messages you on Instagram and asks, a very specific health question, usually you just want to ask a question back. You want to build that yes ladder. Even a good initial question is, do you mind if I send you a voice message about this? Because you're putting the ball back in their court so they feel in control, but you're really actually taking control of the conversation. And when they say yes, you just build that yes ladder. So I really hope this helps. These are some of the most powerful things that you can understand about sales and sales psychology. And if you understand, again, that when you provide someone with a win, you're building that relationship. And every time they say yes and move closer to you, they're moving closer to paying you for your services. And also you're building those lifetime fans and sharing the demand for your services, sharing every time you get a new client, sharing, before and afters and where someone started versus where they are now. That's a huge one because, again, that's showing real proof of concept and proof that your framework and your way of approaching health works. So I hope you enjoyed this. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe or follow us on YouTube for more episodes. And I will see you next week.